Success will depend entirely on the decisions that you make. Decisions made in haste, made with the heart instead of the head, or vice versa. Decisions that may take some time to reveal their repercussions. But there are repercussions. There are always repercussions.
Aujourd'hui, on vous présente du coup une petite interview avec Pete, executive producer du jeu Man of Medan, publié par Supermassive Games. Hello Pete, how are you today?
I'm very well, thanks. Having a great day.
Excellent. So just in a few words, would you like just to present your game, like the story and everything? How is it working?
Sure. Well, Man of Medan is the first game in an anthology of horror games that we're making, and we're targeting to around about 2 games a year, and this is the first one. And every game takes different subgenres of horror that people will be familiar with in film, and puts them together to create something unique and an original story. So none of the stories are linked together; they're all standalone stories in their own right. Man of Medan is a story of 4 young American tourists who hire a boat with a local captain, Fliss, and set out to find a specific wreck that they've heard rumours about. They have information about that's previously undiscovered. So they're out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, nobody else for miles and miles around, and then terrible things start to happen. And they eventually find themselves aboard a ghost ship and have to survive to be rescued or save themselves. Within the game, it's choice-based. It's massively branching. It's by far more branching than we've ever done in a game before. So many endings, many different storylines can be played out depending on the choices that you make. All of the 5 characters can survive until the end, or they can all die. They can all survive. They can all die. Any combination of them can survive or die, and that one of the things that determines how the story plays out. It's got 3 ways to play. There's a solo story mode, which takes between 4 and 5 hours, about 4.5 hours to play through the solo story. But there's also a couch co-op mode, which we call Movie Night, for up to 5 players, where each person takes responsibility for one or more of the characters in the game, and they pass the controller. And then there's a feature that we're very proud of, very unique in this genre, which is 2-player online co-op, where you can play with a friend online and you play the game at the same time. So while you're controlling one character, your friend's controlling another character, and those characters can be in the same scene, communicating with each other. They can be in the same scene doing different things, so you can see what your character's doing and see what the other player, your friend's character, is doing in the background. Or they can be in completely different places, and because it's horror, you're not sure whether you'll ever see them again.
Okay, so it's 3 different ways to experience your game, but is it the same story? Like same story, but different way to just explore the world and discovering everything. Okay, it's interesting. Like, how did you get the idea? Because your first game, not first game, but your last game, Until Dawn, was very good, but it wasn't so huge. Like, how do you conceive a game like this, like connection between people? Like you just told us, like, I'm online, I'm playing with someone, I don't necessarily see what he's seeing. Like, it's completely new in a sense.
It absolutely is. In this genre, it is completely new. And when we were finishing Until Dawn, it was just an idea that we had, that what would this be like if somebody else was controlling the AI character in the same scene, and how would that feel? And we did a prototype together over a few weeks, and it's very rare that you put a prototype together like that and it just works straight away. And we saw the power of it straight away. So we decided, well, the next thing that we do when we do the anthology, that's going to be a key feature.
Okay, and is it still the same like in Until Dawn? Like, for example, when you met some people, if you're just in bad terms with them, they could just adapt and change their way to to act with you? Like, is it still important, like to be in good conditions, good terms with others?
Oh, it makes a difference. It makes a massive difference to how the other characters and what they will do to save you or not save you, or so relationships between characters is a huge thing, and the system that we have within Man of Medan and the Dark Pictures allows the player to dig deeper into what they have done and what they have said that have changed relationships between the characters positively or negatively. So people can track more closely what they've done and how they've affected relationships, and even the traits of characters. You know, have I made this person a coward, or have I made them brave or kind or angry? Because that'll affect how they behave later on. So all of that is kind of trackable within the menus, and you know, we set out from the outset to make a game that people would want to play many times, and part of that's by giving them different ways to play with friends, and each way feels very different. So but then obviously we have to give, you know, good variation in storylines and different events that will happen depending if you do different things. There's some things in the game that when we're playing it in the studio, I'll see something that I haven't, and I play it every day, and I'll see something that I haven't seen for 6 months. Because and it make me smile, make me laugh, or make me scared. But it's we think people are really going to enjoy the variety in it.
And these last years were very interesting, I think, for horror movies. Like I really liked Mandy or Hereditary. I don't know if you had seen these movies, but which movies just have influenced your creation? Like for this game, like just if you just add a few movies you would like to talk about, maybe. I don't know. Like recent one to change. I don't know.
There's a number of things. It's not just film nowadays, because TV is so strong.
Yeah,
it's so strong nowadays, and
web series.
And there's certain things that were in. The Haunting of Hill House. I don't know if you've seen that series, which I thought was awesome, and some of how they get across kind of the mood and the tension in a supernatural way. There's a whole now. There's very few ghost ship films, so in terms of location,
Ghost ship, yes,
yeah,
quite rare.
it is quite rare. There's a great film called Triangle. I don't know if you've seen, which I really love that film, and that's a kind of a ghost ship movie. Had some influence, but it's really the subgenres rather than specific films that we look at. So there's a part in the game that people are playing here at Gamescom today that's very much influenced by the home invasion subgenre. Yeah, but it's on a boat.
Like it's a sub, not a horror, but
Absolutely, yeah. Where everybody's safe with the doors locked, and then somebody gets in. And things go horribly wrong. So it's very much around those subgenres that we study, and then, you know, again, we'll look at different things for the games later in the series. And I think when we over the next few months, when we tell people more about the next game that's coming up, I hope that they'll be surprised at how different it is again to Man of Medan in terms of its tone and its themes, but still very much horror, and still, we think, very, very scary.
Okay, and you were talking about many endings, like just no spoilers, but how many can you expect? Like just to have an idea.
I'm not avoiding the question. It depends what you mean by different, because we can have an ending that is very similar but subtly different, and we wouldn't call that a different ending. So, because there are hundreds of variations in that respect. In terms of fundamentally different endings, where very different things happen, maybe even in very different locations, there are 6, 7, 8, depending on how you classify the differences. But in each of those, you can have any of the one characters alive, or any combination of them alive. So and they will play out differently depending on who's there. So there's huge variation at the end of the game depending on what you've done, and and there are decisions that you can make. There's one particular decision you can make that will eventually get everybody killed. So I want people to be careful with that one. I won't tell you what it is.
Okay, thanks for your answers. And if you liked this video, just think to follow our channel. Like, thanks, Pete.
Thank you.
Yeah. See you, and see you later.